The following is a feature presentation of SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network.
It's not often that you'll go this far into the season and get a matchup between two undefeated teams. And it's even rarer for those two undefeated teams to be from the same division. And yet, here we are. Unprecedented territory for a lot of folks, as today we have the 5-0 Cincinnati Bengals taking on their division rivals and in-state rivals, the 5-0 Cleveland Browns. This is a very historic moment for us here on SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network, for our Week 7 Game of the Week. Hello everybody and welcome. I am your host and announcer Joe, and wow, who would have thought this would have been where we are at the beginning of the season? The Cleveland Browns and Cincinnati Bengals both undefeated. At this far into the season, both vying for the top spot in not just the AFC North, but just the entire AFC to begin with. They're not the only undefeated teams in the AFC, as the Colts are also still undefeated. You saw them last week during that game of the week, but the Browns and Bengals. I want to give you some context on how amazing this is. So, the last time the Bengals went 5-0 to start the season was 2015, which was the last time they had made the playoffs before Joe Burrow showed up in town. That was also the 5th year in a row they had made it to the playoffs, only to lose in the wild card round, and they had done 6 of 7 that year, as of that year as well. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Browns, you want to know how far back you have to go to see them when they were 5-0? In order to understand how amazing this Browns team is, the last time they started 5-0, the Cincinnati Bengals didn't even exist. The last time they went that far was 1963, which was the first year they were without Hall of Fame head coach and the guy the team was named after, Paul Brown. That's amazing, really, how this Cleveland Browns team is doing. And a lot of people were probably writing off this Browns team. They were probably expecting, they might get 4, maybe 5 wins. But no, 5 in a row. They've matched that total. And they might be in for quite a surprise run even further. We'll see how things go. As for our matchup between two undefeated teams, to give you an idea of how rare that is, there's only one game in the rest of the league that could possibly be between two undefeated teams. But in order to get that far, both those teams need to go undefeated until week 17. And that's both the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers. That is way too far out into the future for us to predict right now. We have to focus on what's going to be going on this week. But first, obviously, we're going to take a look at the current standings in the AFC North. Like I said, both the Bengals and Browns vying for that top spot. Technically speaking, the Bengals would be at the top spot because they beat the Ravens, and that was the only divisional rivalry. That was the only divisional matchup any AFC North team had, at least before today. Cleveland, meanwhile, would be at the 5 seed, obviously, but winner of this game is going up to the top. Meanwhile, you have the Baltimore Ravens, who are at 4-1. They'll be tied with whoever loses this game, and that's assuming the Ravens win, obviously. And then, of course, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers all the way down in the basement at 2-3, but they could be a surprise. Maybe they'll catch up. They might have had a slow start, but stranger things have happened to teams in the past. For now, we're going to take a small break, and when we come back, we'll get you down to Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland. And here we are, Huntington Bank Field on the shores of Lake Erie. The Bengals will call heads. It will be heads, and they will elect to return it. So Dustin Hopkins will kick it off for Cleveland, and that is Chase Brown back to return it for the Bengals. We got it up to the 20-yard line and taken out about the 22. Let's take a look at this Cincinnati Bengals offense. You've got Joe Burrow coming into his 5th year in the league for the Bengals out of LSU. Used to play up here before he was at LSU. He actually played for Ohio State, but decided to transfer down to LSU for his final year. Zach Moss, the running back right behind him, cousin of Santana Moss, a former player for the NFL. Andre Yoshivas, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins are the wide receivers for the Bengals. Mike Gesicki, the tight end for Cincinnati. And on the offensive line, you have Ted Karras, Cordell Volson, Alex Kappa, Orlando Brown Jr., and Trent Brown. Zach Taylor in his 6th year coaching this team, while Dan Pitcher is the offensive coordinator. First and 10 for the Bengals on their own 22. Burrow dropping back. Going to throw for Yoshivas over the middle, but it's incomplete. And let's take a look at that Cleveland Browns defense. Myles Garrett, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Shelby Harris are the defensive linemen. Very stout defensive line right there. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Greg Newsome II, Jordan Hicks, and Zadarius Smith are the linebackers for Cleveland. Martin Emerson Jr. and Denzel Ward on the corners. And meanwhile, Juan Thornhill and Grant Delpit are the safeties. Jim Schwartz is the defensive coordinator for the Browns, while Ray Ventrone is the special teams coordinator. 2nd and 10 for Cincinnati. Burrow going to hand this one off to Moss. He's going to break 2 tackles, and he's still going. He's got the first down at about the 39. Men in motion for Cincinnati. Burrow dropping back. Going to throw. Oh, it's blocked. And it's incomplete. Nice deflection there by the line to break through. 2nd and 10. Burrow dropping back. Running out of time. Goes for a screen pass, but it's incomplete. 3rd and 10. Men in motion for the Bengals. Burrow running out of time. Throws over the middle. And it's Yoshivas. Andre Yoshivas got the catch there. 1st and 10. Burrow dropping back. Running forward. Myles Garrett with the sack. That's his first of the day. Burrow looking. Got plenty of time throwing for a screen pass for Moss. And he'll get to about the... like the 47. So 3rd and 16. Burrow running out of time. Myles Garrett with another sack. Pushes them back 5 yards, and they're going to be forced to punt. Great work by the Browns defense there. Ryan Reckow, the rookie punter out of BYU, and Elijah Moore back to return, but it'll be a touchback in the end zone. Let's take a look at the Cleveland Browns starting offense. Deshaun Watson, the quarterback in his 8th year out of Clemson. He took a few years off while in Houston because of the fact that he wanted to be traded. Got his wish, got traded to the Browns, and then immediately got extended. Jerome Ford, the running back for the Browns, right behind him. Since, unfortunately, they do not have access to Nick Chubb right away, they're still wanting to make sure he's good before he returns to play. Elijah Moore, Amari Cooper, and Jerry Jeudy, the wide receivers for Cleveland. David Njoku, the tight end for the Browns. Ethan Posick, Joel Bitonio, Wyatt Teller, Jedrick Wills Jr., and Jack Conklin are the linemen to start and have to protect Watson for the Browns. Kevin Stefanski, reigning coach of the year, is the head coach here for the Cleveland Browns in his 5th year. And the offensive coordinator for the Browns is Ken Dorsey. 1st and 10 for the Browns. Watson gonna play. No, he's actually handing it off to Ford, who's only gonna get out at 3. Take a look at that Bengals starting defense. Trey Hendrickson, Sheldon Rankins, and B.J. Hill are the defensive linemen. Jermaine Pratt, Mike Hilton, Logan Wilson, and Sam Hubbard are the linebackers. Daxton Hill and Cam Taylor-Britt on the corners for the Bengals. And meanwhile, Geno Stone and Von Bell are the safeties. Lou Anarumo is the defensive coordinator for the Bengals, while the special teams coordinator is Darren Simmons. 2nd and 7 with man in motion for Watson. And shotgun formation, going to throw for Amari Cooper, who's got this one, and is just outside of Cleveland, and just outside of Cincinnati territory. Man in motion for Watson. Shotgun formation, he's going to run with it himself. He's got the first down. Looked like they gave him the first down, actually. 2nd and 1. Watson going to hand this one off. And no, it's 3rd down, they're going to say. Short by a few inches, so 3rd and inches. And off to Ford, he's got the first down easily. And he's fighting to try and keep going, but he'll be stopped at the 39. 1st and 10, shotgun formation for Watson, man in motion. Gonna try and run forward with it, gonna take it himself, he's got legs! And did he get it? I think he did. He did! It will be a 1st down, Browns. Men in motion for Cleveland. Watson going to hand this one off to Ford. Jerome running along the near side, got the first down, taken down at about the 15 or 16. It looks like. So Watson on this 1st and 10, going to hand it off to Ford yet again. Ford running along the far sideline. I think he got the first down. They'll measure it just to be safe. It is a 1st down. 1st and goal on the 5. Watson going to hand this one off to Ford, but he will be stopped. Only gained about 2. 2nd and goal. Watson. Play action. Rolling to his left. Gonna throw it across the body to Amari Cooper. Bad idea. Almost got picked off. 3rd and goal. Hand off to Ford, and he will be stuffed. So they're going to have to go with the field goal unit. Dustin Hopkins in his 12th year. Played quite a few of those years for Washington. And it's good. 3-0 Cleveland. And Hopkins going to kick this one. Brown back to return. Chase going to take this one from about the 3-yard line, get to about the 19. 1st and 10 for Cincinnati. Man in motion. Burrow going to try and run forward with it. And he's going to get taken down by Greg Newsome real quick. So that's his 1st sack. Burrow dropping back, running out of time. Shelby Harris gets the sack this time. 3rd and 18. Shotgun formation for Burrow. Gonna try and run forward. Shelby Harris with another sack, and that pushes him back another 8 yards. So they're gonna punt this ball, and Raquel is in his own end zone to punt this one. And Elijah Moore will take this from about the 45 of the Browns. Got to the 40 and down to about the 34, and he is injured. That is not good for Cleveland's return team. But for the most part, that shouldn't be too big of a problem. So Cedric Tillman will have to come in at both the wide receiver and the return positions. The throw for David Njoku, incomplete. 2nd and 10 for the Browns. Less than a minute to go. Watson going to hand this one off to Ford. Ford going to run along the far side, keep on going, and avoids several tackles. Gets taken down at about the 17, so he's in the red zone. So 1st and 10 Cleveland. Watson hands this off to Ford yet again, tries to run it up the middle, but he gets stopped. Only gains about 3. 2nd and 7. Watson hands it off to Ford, running along the far side yet again. And Jerome Ford has been impressive in this 1st quarter. 1st and goal on the 7. Watson gonna throw for Ford, but it's incomplete, and that's how we're gonna end the 1st quarter. 3-0 Browns. 2nd and 7, man in motion. Watson in shotgun formation. Gonna throw to his right for Amari Cooper. Touchdown Cleveland! And the Browns strike with a touchdown. They get up early to make this a little bit more difficult for this Bengals defense. And it's good. And the defense is pretty good, but the offense also going to need some work. And that will be Brown back to return it from about the 3. And he'll get taken down at about the 17 or 18. First and 10 for the Bengals. Burrow in shotgun. Going to try and run forward. Gets wrapped up, and he's taken down by Greg Newsome, the second yet again. 2nd and 12. Burrow going to hand this one off to Zach Moss. Moss running along the far side. He's got the first down and more. He's still going, and he's taken down at about the 43. So no 3 and out for Cleveland this time. No 3 and out for Cincinnati this time. Burrow going to try and throw to his left middle, it looked like. Andre Yoshivas was the intended receiver there. Burrow on a 2nd and 10, dropping back, tries for a screen pass, but it's incomplete. 3rd and 10. Burrow dropping back. Plenty of open men, but running out of time. A throw for Jamar Chase. Chase running up the middle, and he's into Cleveland territory with the first down at about the 34, it looks like. Burrow going to hand this one off to Moss. Moss running it up the middle, breaking a tackle. Gained about 8 on that run. 2nd and 2. Burrow looking for an open man. Gonna have that pass blocked. It's incomplete. 3rd and 2, but they're at least in scoring position. And off to Moss, who's got the first down and more. He's into the red zone. He's still going, and he's going to get taken down at about the 4, maybe 5. 1st and goal. Burrow going to toss this one to Moss. Moss running along the far sideline. Touchdown, Bengals! So Cincinnati gets a touchdown right after Cleveland gets a touchdown. And if they can get the extra point, then that will mean that we will have a 3-point game. Evan McPherson kick on the way. It's good. So Pierre Strong Jr. will return this one for Cleveland. And he'll take this from about the 4. And he'll get up to about the 20. And past the 25 under the 30. And he's taken down at about the 32. 1st and 10 for the Browns. Handoff from Watson to Ford. Ford running along the near side, but not going to get too far. Only gained about 8 on that play. Only gained about 2, so 2nd and 8. Watson going to get wrapped up, and he's going to fumble the ball, and it's going to get picked up by Logan Wilson. The linebacker making a big play for Cincinnati there. 1st and 10. Going to hand this one off to Zach Moss. Moss running into a lineman. Going to get only about 1 yard. 2nd and 9. Burrow dropping back. Gonna run out of time as Myles Garrett gets to him for the loss of 8. So 3rd and 17. This would be a real long field goal for Evan McPherson. Toss for Zach Moss. Moss going to get back to about 8 yards. So they'll go for the field goal. This will be a 48-yard try. 47-yard try, sorry. Misspoke. And it's through. So we have a tie game here. For the Battle of Ohio. For the first Battle of Ohio, I should probably say. There will be a second one later on in the season. And Strong going to take this one back from about the 2.5. Gets taken down at about the 16.5. 1st and 10. Watson going to play action. Roll to his left. Gonna throw for Amari Cooper, who's in the middle. Amari Cooper's wide open. He's into Cincinnati territory. And he's taken down at about the 44. Maybe 45. We'll say 44.5. Watson on the 1st and 10. Play action rolling to his left. Waiting. Gonna throw for Ford, who dives for this one on the other side of the field. And he's taken down at about the 7. Cleveland going to call their first timeout. 2 big plays real quick. Watson dropping back while in shotgun. Gonna try and run forward and take it himself. He's got the running touchdown. Deshaun Watson definitely makes that drive a happy ending for the Browns. Hopkins extra point on the way. It's good, and it's a 17-10 game. Now the Browns will get the ball back to start the second half. And Chase Brown is going to get this one to about the 17 or 18. 1st and 10 on the 18-yard line. Man in motion. Burrow dropping back. Running out of time. He's wrapped up. Myles Garrett. He is a big weapon on the Browns defense and has been for the past few years. Burrow going to hand this one off to Zach Moss. Only gained about 4 there. So 3rd and 14. Burrow running out of time. Throw this one to his left for Jamar Chase. You can't forget about this man. Wide open as he gets into Cleveland territory. And taken down about the 42. Saves this drive. And Cincinnati going to call their first timeout of the game. First timeout of the first half. Burrow dropping back. Going to try and throw to his right. Incomplete. It looked like that was for Mike Gesicki, the tight end. 12 seconds to go. 2nd and 10. Burrow dropping back. Going to try and run forward. Dalvin Tomlinson there with the sack. And they're going to go for this one. It'd be a real long field goal. It'd be over 60 yards. So they need to score here. T. Higgins wide open. Got one man to beat. And he does! Touchdown Bengals! And if they can get this extra point, they'll tie this game up at halftime. Joe Burrow with the amazing connection to T. Higgins. A lot of people weren't sure if Higgins was going to stay a Bengal through the offseason, but he shows they need him. And that is how we're going to do it for the first half of play here. Bengals and Browns tied at 17. Like we said before, Cleveland going to get the ball to start the second half. This game is still really up in the air. Next week, the bright lights and shining stars of Tinseltown are coming to SVGN as Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints head out to SoFi Stadium to take on Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. That's all coming up for you next week in our Week 8 Game of the Week here on SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network. And McPherson's kick is to start this second half. Pierre Strong Jr. going to take this from about the 4-yard line. And he'll get up to the 20 and take it down to the 23. 1st and 10 for Cleveland. Every single one of Cleveland's drives last time ended with a score, except for a fumble, which just happens right here! And it's recovered by Cleveland. Couldn't quite tell who that was right now. But we'll tell you when Tecmo Rewind comes out this week. 2nd and 15, a throw to the left. And it was intended for Jerry Jeudy, but unfortunately did not seem like they were on the same wavelength there. 3rd and long. Ford going to run this along the far sideline, and he's got the first down and more. That's like a 20-yard run there. So man in motion, Watson in shotgun formation. Trying to knock on the door of the Bengals territory, and it's picked off. Von Bell with the interception in Bengals territory. So that's another turnover for Cleveland today. That's their 2nd of the day. 1st interception. Burrow going to try and throw to his right for Higgins. And Higgins going to get the first down and more. He's into Cleveland territory, and he's taken down at about the 39.5. Burrow dropping back. And the Browns trying to break through. A throw for Gesicki. This time it is a connection. And it'll be 1st and 10 on the 25. Burrow in shotgun with a man in motion. Going to try and run forward. And he's gotten past the line of scrimmage. And he's still going past the first down marker. And he's going to make it a 1st and goal on the 9. Great run there by Burrow. Not a lot of people expecting him to run. Burrow dropping back. Offensive line holding for now. Higgins got the touchdown here. And Cincinnati takes their first lead of the day with the connection to Higgins. That defense looked like they were ready to break through. That defense can break through. But nice connection there from Burrow. And it's 24-17. So the Browns now need to play catch-up. And Strong going to take this from about a yard deep in his own end zone. He'll get to about the 15 where he stopped. 1st and 10 for Cleveland. Man in motion. Watson in shotgun formation. Looking and throwing to his left for David Njoku, who's got the first down and still going. As he gets to about the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 Cleveland yet again. Watson going to hand this one off to Ford. He's running along the near side. Avoids one tackle, can't avoid another. And he gains about 7 on that play. 2nd and 3. Watson in shotgun formation. Got plenty of time. Defense trying to get through. Throw to the left for Judy, and it's picked off again! That's Cam Taylor-Britt with the interception. Defense coming through big for Cincinnati on both of Cleveland's drives. Throw to the left for Jamar Chase. Chase, can he? Could he? Will he? He's got to the 5 and he's gone! Touchdown, Cincinnati! One play is all they need. We saw that last week with the close victory they had against the Giants. 1 play, 1 score. And Evan McPherson with the extra point to make it a 14-point game. So the Browns need to score and score quickly, because they will not have much time with this Bengals defense. 1st and 10. If there's one thing this Browns offense can do, it is score quickly. Watson going to try and throw for David Njoku, and he's got him. And he gets to about the 28 on the nice little check down there. 1st and 10. Watson in shotgun formation. Going to throw for a screen, incomplete. Looked like that was for Jerome Ford, who was in the area. 2nd and 10. Watson going to hand this one off to Ford. Running into a lineman. Going to try and move back to the other side. And he's only going to get about 8 yards on that one. 3rd and 2. Men in motion. Watson going to hand this off to Ford. He's got the 1st down and still going. He's into Cincinnati territory. He's still on his feet. And he's taken down finally at about the 32. 1st and 10 for the Browns. Men in motion. Watson going to hand this one off to Ford yet again. And he gets only about 1. 2nd and 9. Shotgun formation. Man runs in front of Watson. Throw a screen pass for Ford, but he can't hold on to it. 3rd and 9. At the very least, this is a decent field goal for Dustin Hopkins to make if they can't score the touchdown here. Watson going to play action roll to his left and incomplete. Looked like he was trying to throw for Judy, who couldn't quite get it, and it was out of bounds. So this will be a 39-yard field goal. Hopkins kick on the way, and it's wide left. No good. 18 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Burrow dropping back. Defense tries to break through. Had to get it away very quickly, or else he was going down with it. 2nd and 10. Burrow going to throw this one to the left. Incomplete. There were some white jerseys in the area. Time for one more play before the quarter ends. 3rd and 10. Watson dropping. Burrow dropping back. Throw over the middle. And did he get the 1st down? No. Andre Yoshivas short by a few inches. That's how we're going to end the 3rd quarter. The Bengals will start the 4th quarter with a punt. So this is Pierre Strong Jr. to do punt returns after Elijah Moore got hurt in the 2nd quarter. Taken down to about the 18-yard line. My apologies. 1st and 10. Watson in shotgun formation. Waiting. Throwing, and it's blocked. No idea who that was for. Men in motion for Watson on the 2nd and 10. Handoff to Ford, who runs along the far side. Looks like they were expecting a pass. And they're going to take him down at about the 42. So it'll be 1st and 10 there. Watson with the play action rolling to his left. Going to try and throw for David Njoku. Njoku got the 1st down and more. He's still going. He breaks the tackle. And he's taken down at about the 22-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Cleveland there. In Cincy territory. Watson throwing to his right for Amari Cooper. Touchdown, Browns! And that will make this a 1-score game if Dustin Hopkins can make the extra point. This has been a back-and-forth affair for both teams. So now, Cleveland very much in the territory Cincinnati was in. And they're going to go for the onside kick. And it's going to be recovered by Burrow. So it'll be 1st and 10 on the Cincinnati 49. Defense breaking through. Throw for Jamar Chase. He's got it. He's still going. He's out the red zone territory before he's taken down. 1st and 10 on the 20. Cincinnati dropping back. Defense is not breaking through right now. Offensive line holding on. And incomplete. Nice protection there, though, by the offense there. Burrow dropping back on the 2nd and 10. Gonna throw to his left. Incomplete. Looks like that was a screen pass from Moss on that one. So 3rd and 10. Defense breaking through. Throw for Chase is over his head. Incomplete. Looks like he wasn't expecting it. So they'll go for the Evan McPherson 38-yarder. McPherson's kick on the way, and it's good. It's a 10-point lead for Cincinnati. Cleveland running out of time. They need to get something going here, or they are not going to get it. You have to imagine the 2 interceptions that he threw. Oh, and down goes Pierre Strong Jr. So he's getting taken out of the game, and it'll be Dante Foreman who will come in on the return games. You have to imagine the 2 interceptions that Watson threw probably weighing on his mind. Watson, plenty of time. Throwing to his right for Amari Cooper is wide open, avoids a potential tackle, and he's gotten into Cincinnati territory. He's still going. He's still on his feet, and he's down at about the 28. So 1st and 10 Browns. Men in motion. Watson gonna hand this one off to Ford, who does not get too far. 2nd and 5. Watson in shotgun formation. They need 10 points here. Waiting. Looking. Gonna throw to his right for Amari Cooper. Cooper has 2 men to beat, and he does! Touchdown, Browns! And now they need to get this ball back, and at the very least score a field goal to tie it, assuming Dustin Hopkins gets the extra point here. They got 3 minutes, or just over 3 minutes, to go in this game. 34-31, Bengals have the lead. They're going to go for the deep kick on this one. They don't trust the onside kick will not be recovered. About 1.5 yards back in his own end zone is Brown. And he's going to get to the 20, and he's taken down to about the 23 here. 1st and 10. Man in motion on the right side of Burrow. Moss going to get the toss here. And he's going to drag the defenders for a few more yards before he gets taken down for a gain of 4. Cleveland going to call their first time out of the second half. 2nd and 6 with a man in motion. Toss from Moss. Moss going to run along the near sideline, and he's got the first down. And Cleveland going to call their second timeout with just over 2 minutes to go. Cincinnati really does not want to turn this ball over. Burrow dropping back. Tries to run forward, but Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah takes him down from behind for the loss of 4. Defense needs to hold on. And hand off to Moss here. Breaks a tackle. And still on his feet. He's got the first down, and he's in Cleveland territory. And that might have just put this game away, as Cleveland going to call their final time out. So it'll be 1st and 10. Bengals with man in motion running in front of Burrow. Shotgun formation. Going to run forward. Going to avoid the potential sacks as he gets to the first down marker, and he's there. Cincinnati's games coming up. They have the Eagles and Raiders at home. Then they're on the road for 2 games. They got Baltimore and the Chargers. Throw over the middle for T. Higgins, and he gets the first down. Less than a minute to go. Burrow in red zone area, and Moss taken down. Cleveland's next few games, though, they have 2 home games against the Ravens and Chargers, a bye week, and then they have to head down to New Orleans as this pass is blocked and incomplete. So 3rd and 13. Less than half a minute to go. Moss going to get taken down, and they're going to go for the field goal. So Cincinnati going to come away with this victory and remain undefeated. And this kick is good, 37-31. And meanwhile, Cleveland needs a massive miracle here, as Deontay Foreman going to take this one back from about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he is down. So that will do it. The Cincinnati Bengals remain undefeated. They win this round between the two teams, but they will be back. Browns will be taking on the Bengals in Week 16. Cleveland going to go to 5-1. And their next game, like we said, against the Ravens. A very difficult game for them. If we take a look at the standings overall, like I said, Cincinnati remains at 6-0, Cleveland at 5-1. Baltimore needs to win their game this week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to tie with the Browns for second place. And then right behind them all is Pittsburgh at 2-3. And a reminder to all that coming up this weekend, we've got ourselves the Week 7 version of Tecmo Rewind. And to come back here next Thursday for our Game of the Week between the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Chargers. For all of us here at SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network, I'm your host, Joe, saying good night, everybody!